Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Please welcome my next guest, Lori Grossman, co-author of Master of Mindfulness, How to Be Your Own Superhero in Times of Stress, and also Angelina Alvarez, the book designer. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so we need to start first with defining mindfulness. What is that?
So mindfulness is awareness. It's awareness without judgment. So I often give classes and I say, how many of you have ever done something you wish you hadn't done? How many of you
All
ever,
of us?
right?
Yes.
How many of you have ever said something you wish you hadn't said?
Right.
How many of you have driven somewhere and you had no idea how you got there? That's a really dangerous one. Those are moments of not awareness.
Yeah.
Those are not mindful moments. So if we are aware, then hopefully we don't say things we don't want to say. We don't do things we don't want to do. We have kids say, I have the power to make wise choices. Wise choices come from awareness.
So you started teaching this in the school in East Oakland a couple years ago.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, right?
Right.
And the kids really took this serious.
They love it.
Yeah.
Because the first day I started this mindfulness stuff in 2007, and a kid said the very first day, I think if we do this every day, we're not going to fight anymore. And I literally almost fell over because I'd been working in the inner city for 40 years looking for social justice and educational equity. So it's like another kid said, I love this. Is it real? It made me cry because this child had never felt peace. So the kids tap into this and they love it because it makes them feel so good.
Right. It's really taking a step back, right? You feel the stress, you feel the anger. It's taking a step back and saying, wait a second, I don't need to act right away. Let me focus.
Right.
And figure out a way to handle this.
Right.
Okay, so they were doing this for a while. They were practicing mindfulness. It's a part of the class structure. And then all of a sudden one day, the book was inspired.
A child said, a kid that was pretty active said, you know, we should have a mindfulness superhero. It was Spirit Week. And so they're finding superheroes. He goes, we should have a master of mindfulness superhero. And so the teacher told me this, and I was sitting and practicing mindfulness for, you know, one day and went, we should write a book. And so when I went in there, I asked the teacher, what do you think? It's going to mean I have to come in. It means I need your class time. And he said, we're practicing writing. This is perfect. Authors. And so I went in, and the first thing I said to them is, do you think other kids need mindfulness? And all the hands went up, and for all the right reasons.
Sure.
And then I said to them, how can we tell other kids about this? And eventually a kid said, write a book. And I go, that's a great idea. And then so we started out, and we just put paper on the wall. And I'd say, okay, how would we start this book? You know, and so we had all these ideas, and we'd vote. Okay, well, are those the words we want? So really, it's their words, and it's their drawings. And then I had this great book, and I had no idea how it was going to turn into a book because I'm not a designer, I'm not an artist.
Right.
And Angelina and I met. And she was an artist who loved mindfulness and wanted it for kids. I said, do you want to illustrate a kid's book? And she said, are you kidding me? And I went, thank God for her.
Angelina, yeah, did you know what mindfulness is when you got involved with the project?
Yes, I found mindfulness in 2013 after I graduated from the Art Institute in San Francisco here. And I found mindfulness through my doctor. I was going through a state of heavy loss, lost a lot of family members. I had chronic pain. I couldn't pick up my camera anymore. And I was in a state of depression from it. And so from a moment of feeling like breaking, and literally feeling like bugs crawling underneath my flesh to peace and calm. And as soon as I found that peace, I looked at the lady who was teaching me mindfulness. I said, do kids know about this? Because I could have used this as a kid growing up. And yeah, then I found the Mindful Life Project, and they're based in Richmond. And I've been teaching mindfulness to children for 2 years now. It's my second year.
That's great.
And so when I went to Mindful Life Project, Miss Lori was there, and I asked her for a ride to BART. And she said, you're an artist. You know how to put a book together? And I was like, yeah. Would you like to do a book for kids? The kids have all the writing. We just need more drawings and figure out how we're going to put all this stuff together. So, yeah, it was, of course I wanted to, because I know I picked up the book, The Hungry Caterpillar, over and over and over again as a kid. I loved it. The pictures, everything was so cool. But this book is written by kids, for kids, and it's giving them the power back. And this book, I just made it, designed it, trying to be so cool so we could just pick it up over and over again.
Yeah, we have some of the pages that you're talking about. So you helped a lot of these kids come up with these ideas, right?
Yeah, so they all wrote out Winter Times Day of Used Mindfulness. And so we had all these different instances. And so I said, okay, which student, who wants to be my illustrators? Who wants to draw these instances? And about 8 of them raised their hands. So we would go into a small group. We'd practice mindfulness, and they drew in stick figures in pencil on paper. And so I scanned it at home and created it into a book format.
And you created this book. Yeah, it's a wonderful book, Lori. It was a great idea. Inner Explorer, tell me about that real quickly before we have to go.
So Inner Explorer is, the book is fantastic, but what we need is we need kids to practice this every day. I've worked...
So Inner Explorer is the program that goes into all of the schools. And
Inner Explorer is an audio program. And the teacher just simply presses a button, and it's daily mindfulness practice. It's 10 minutes a day. It's preschool, 5 minutes, elementary, middle, and high, 10 minutes. All the teacher has to do is a 20-minute training. They push a button, and they listen, and they learn with their kids. So there's not an instructor. That the teacher is learning with the children, which creates a very cool paradigm shift.
Yeah, that's great. All right, well, for more information on the book, Master of Mindfulness, just log on to innerexplorer.org. Again, that's innerexplorer.org. And we'll be back with more Bay Area Focus next week. Have a great day, everyone.